channel. It's your girl Erin, and this is Be More Fabulous with Erin, where we're all about living our life with passion and on purpose. I coach women in business and mindset and help them go from mom to entrepreneur. I have been doing a very girl boss vlogmas for the past 6 days. This is day number 6. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I have another great video for you guys. This one is jam-packed with information, and it's going to be a real kickoff to what you are trying to do as far as starting your business. So today's video is literally a step-by-step guide of what to do to actually start your business. This is a question I get from all of my clients, all of my friends, people who are just looking to get into this, and the number one question is, how do I start? Now, without sounding too cheesy or repetitive, the best answer I can give you is to just start. How do you start a business? You start. How do you start anything? You start. You cannot become a successful entrepreneur if you never even start, if you don't try. So the number one thing, of course, is to just start. However, I am going to give you guys a step-by-step guide of literally what to do to get yourself out there, to get the business started and rolling in the first place. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and stay tuned with me. This is going to be an amazing video with a lot of information. And make sure you guys are also hitting that bell for notifications, because my next few videos are really going to dive deep into how to make a business plan and how to make a marketing plan. So I'm getting really deep into information with you guys, and I want to make sure you guys are on the same page with me and following along. So don't forget to like and subscribe, ring the bell for notifications so you know when the next time I'm going to post. And let's get into this. And this is literally step by step of how to start a business. Step number 1 is to decide what you even want to do. Now, this can be a challenge for a lot of women if you don't already have a goal or a business. So just knowing what you want to do is helpful. If you're still kind of lost in that place where you're not sure where you want to go, what type of business you want to do, but you are looking to transition into entrepreneurship, you're looking to transition into time freedom, you're looking to start betting on yourself, but you're not quite sure, I do have some more information for that. If you guys are interested in getting tips on how to decide what you want to do, how to follow your passion into a profitable business, let me know or leave a comment down below, and I will make sure that I do a video about that, and also give you guys some great free resources that I have that come straight from my coaching business that I'm offering to you guys here on YouTube for free. So you want to decide what you want to do. You want to think about things like, what am I good at? What are things that I am skilled at? It's helpful to get a piece of paper and write down literally the things that you are skilled at. Before I transitioned into coaching, you know, I did already run the 2 businesses, but coaching is something I started to transition into maybe a year ago. And one of the first things I did was sit down and literally write down everything I was good at, because I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do, what I wanted next steps to be for myself. So once I wrote down like everything I was good at, I was able to look at that, look at my skill set, look at things that I'm passionate about, and merge the 2. And that is kind of what I teach you guys in the free resource I was talking about, how to really figure out what it is that you want to do. And just a quick tidbit, writing down all the things you're good at is helpful. Writing the things down that you're passionate about is helpful. And then you're going to come up with a business idea. You're going to come up with what you want to do. So I wrote down all of my skills. I wrote down my passions. So you guys want to do that first. You want to just figure out what it is you actually want to do. Then you need to figure out how you can monetize that. Once you have an idea of how you can make money combining your skills and your passions, then you have a starting point for your business. So that's step number 1, is to really just decide what it is you want to do. Step number 2 is to create a business plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You need a business plan. I know a lot of businesses try to get around it, especially smaller businesses just starting out, businesses that may feel like they don't need a business plan because they're not going to be seeking capital. However, you need a business plan. It's something that you need more so for yourself. It's a roadmap. Once you create your business plan, it is literally a guide, a roadmap for you to always refer back to. The information that I'm giving you guys is based off of my experience, things that I have gone through. Avoid some roadblocks that I hit, avoid some mistakes that I hit early on. I am literally giving you guys the roadmap that has been tried and tested. So make sure you're staying tuned for that. to get all the information about writing a business plan. So while you're writing your business plan, you also want to think about your name, what you want to name your business, because that's going to be key for you to research the business name as well before you start moving. Before you start moving all the working pieces, you want to make sure the name is even available. So make sure you're doing your research on the name. So once you do all that, you're going to roll into step number 3, and that is going to be to register your business name. Now, this should be done in the state in which you live. For tax purposes and to keep everything centralized and to make the transition smoother, it is best that you register your business in the state that you live in. So even if you know that you'll be moving in a few months, or you want to open an office somewhere else, or you're going to have people work, it doesn't matter. You want to make sure that you're registering your business in the state that you live in. You can do this a few different ways. You can do, number 1 is get a DBA, which is probably the most common form, and that's pretty much as a doing business as. You want to make sure, like I said, that your name is available so that you can be doing business as pretty and pink nails. So keep in mind, if your business is going to be under your business name, you do not need a DBA. Remember that. So if you are going to be Erin Hamilton & Co., you do not need a doing business as attached to that. The second way you can do that is to create a business structure. So you can create an LLC, you can be a sole proprietor. You're going to want to do research in your state to find out what works best for your needs, what works best as far as taxes, what works best for the type of business and service you are providing. And that is what you need to do on a local level. You need to do research in your state. Every state has different rules about what type of structure you need to set up for the type of business you want to do. And it's going to depend, again, on the type of business that you want to do. So that is tip number 3. Step number 4 is to register your domain name. So once you have everything figured out, you know what you want to name it, you have a business plan, you know exactly what your business looks like inside and out, and you know that that name is what you're going to move forward with, register the domain name. Now, the most popular, of course, is .com here in the United States. A tip would be to stick with the .com. When you do a .net or a .co, it makes people not feel like your business is as trustworthy, even though it completely is, and you can register .net if you'd like. In my experience, the best way to build credibility and build a brand is to stick with the .com. And just a little side tip, when you're registering your domain name, make sure you also register your name, especially if you're doing service-based businesses. So if you're going to be a coach, if you're looking into consulting, even like a wedding planner, any of those type of businesses, when you yourself are the business, make sure you're also registering your name as well. That way it's available just in case you need it. This is actually something that I did do, and I'm glad that I did, because now that I've transitioned into coaching, it was incredibly easy to get my name also as a domain. So that was an incredible tip to give you guys, to make sure that you're doing that in the beginning. Not a lot of people tell you to do that. However, my mentor did kind of teach me to do that. And number 5 is to register your name with all of the social media platforms. So even if you're just planning on focusing on 2 platforms, which I do highly suggest when you are starting your business, is to focus on only 2 sites at a time, 2 social sites at a time. That way you're really making your impact on those 2 sites first. You don't want to be all over every single social media site, because 1, it's going to be a hectic headache trying to keep up with everything. It's something that I made a mistake, and I did learn from that as well, that you want to focus your time on just 2 platforms. But make sure that you are registering the name across all of the platforms, just so that when you scale and grow, you know that that name is still available for yourself. So make sure that you're doing that for Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, all of the dozen of other social platforms. Make sure that you are registering your name, signing up for social media sites with your name across all of the platforms, so that you have it and you're ready when it's time to scale. Number 6 is going to be for you to set up the financial side of your business. Now, this can get quite complicated and has multiple steps to it. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to create a video about that as well. Literally a in-depth, step-by-step of how to get your business finances together. Let me know that. But for now, I will tell you the first few things that you need to do. You definitely want to get yourself a tax ID number, and that is free. It is free to go right online. You can do that. I'll leave links to how you can get onto most of these things as well. They'll probably be related to Maryland. If it doesn't pertain to you, at least you have an idea of what to do. So you do want to get your free tax ID number right from the IRS website you can go to. If you just Google it, how to get a tax ID number in your state, it'll pop up that way as well. Make sure that you're doing that first before you get into the rest of the steps with your finance. But a quick tip though, if you are registering your business as a sole proprietor or a single LLC, then you can use your social security number and you don't have to get a tax ID number. I personally do not recommend that because it just does not give your business its separate identity, its own separate identity. It's going to be wrapped up into you. So your credit, anything your social security number is attached to will also now reflect your business. It is my recommendation that you do not do that, that you definitely get the EIN number so that you can completely keep everything separate. Some people prefer to do it the other way. That again is going to be up to you guys and up to you guys doing the research. You're also going to want to set up a business bank account in this step. So make sure that you guys are completely keeping everything separate. Your business is separate from your personal life. So once you have all the beginning steps done, you'll have the necessary paperwork to take to the bank in order to open up a banking checking account. That is incredibly important to make sure that you're keeping the finances separate. I will not stress that enough of how important that is. I made a huge mistake with that as well in the beginning of not keeping things completely separated, and it came to bite me in the ass in the long run. So make sure that everything is completely separate, and that's going to be the next step, is to get your banking situation set up. From there, you want to make sure you're setting up any online payment options. Again, especially if you're going to be in that service-based space, you want to make sure you have either PayPal or Swipe or Square. For event planning, there's a whole separate thing we use for, it's called WePay. If you are getting into that field, that's a tip for you as well. You can also check with your bank to see if they offer any merchant services right there through your bank. Another tip is I do not recommend PayPal if you are starting out. PayPal is very client and customer centric, which is great. However, for new businesses, it is a nightmare. I had a lot of issues with this starting out with clients and clients requesting refunds when they shouldn't have been. And I guess people just knowing that PayPal does these practices, so they would issue refunds on things. A lot of fraud happened. Not PayPal's fault. However, like I said, they don't really take the side of the merchant. So I do not recommend PayPal. I do love Square. Square is awesome. And of course, I use WePay for my event business. The things like Cash App and Zelle, those are great tools to have for your business. However, it's not what I would put out first as the way you make payments. It does make your business feel unprofessional. However, you do want to also make sure that you're setting that up for the business. I have a Cash App for my event planning business because some of my brides do like to pay me that way. I do, however, which is a tip for you guys with starting out, all of my clients' first payments need to be made through a more reliable site that I can track, that I can issue refunds if necessary, that I can rectify situations if necessary. Cash App is great, but their customer service is terrible. It's hard to actually get a live person on the phone. So make sure that at least with your first time dealing with your clients, if it's signing the contract, making the deposits, whatever, you are going through, like I said, either a merchant site through your actual bank, something like Square, PayPal if you do choose that. Make sure that your first payments are not through sites like Cash App. Again, they can be great sources and tools later on, but make sure when you're starting out, you just have a better tracking system for payments. Step number 7, your next step is going to be piggybacking off of your financials, and that's going to be to research and review the sales and tax information necessary for your state. Make sure that you have all of your licensing, the sales tax, you know what is necessary to run your business in your state so that you don't run into any legal or financial roadblocks moving forward. You guys are going to be selling online. You will most likely collect and pay taxes in the state that you are doing business in. The state that you have a physical business in, you are going to be collecting and paying taxes, or at least you should. This is a step that a lot of new businesses skip out on. It's also a step that a lot of coaches and a lot of these videos do not mention when teaching people how to start a business. It's important though, and I want to make sure you guys have all the information up front so that you are prepared in the beginning and that you won't hit any of these roadblocks that I had to. Making sure that you know and have all the information necessary to pay taxes is important. Don't let these influencers and these YouTubers and people who are running these big businesses get it twisted. You do need to pay taxes. That's why you will see that a lot of these videos do not talk about their process in paying taxes. Another thing I messed up on in the beginning, I'm telling y'all, I am trying to make sure that you guys can run this successfully without all of the hurdles and roadblocks that I had to face. So make sure that you're reviewing all of your information. Make sure that you have the right licensing and tax information for your state. And again, this does vary state by state. So you need to really be doing the research. Get out there, go to your state's website for business, your small business website for your state, and this information will be outlined for you as well. So after you have all of that and you really have the groundwork set, now your next step is going to be to set up your website. So now you should have already registered your domains, had your emails, all that good stuff. I know a lot of businesses now do not have physical websites because we rely so heavily on social media. However, I recommend you have a website. That's just one more tool that will help build credibility and also build your brand. You want to have a centralized website where people can go to purchase your services, check out who you are, any frequently asked questions if they have them, any concerns. It's incredibly important now with COVID going on that you have a section that talks about how your business is handling that. It's just really important to have a website. It's just one centralized location for people to go to find out who you are, what you do, what type of services you are, and again, just build that trust. Creating a website is something that can be done fairly easy yourself. I recommend, if you're going to be doing it yourself, to use a site like Wix. Some people like Wix, some people don't. I love Wix. Wix is a great website if you're doing like a service-based business, if you have like a blog, if you need to make home pages. I love Wix because it is user-friendly. It has so many drag and drop options. You don't have to worry about coding, anything like that. If you are new to this, Wix is going to be your best friend because, like I said, it's drag and drop. They have websites that are already designed and you just customize it to your liking. They also have a service now where you just type in your information and they generate a basic website for you. Now, if you guys are going to be selling a product, a great website for that is, of course, Shopify. Shopify is probably the best website for e-commerce sales. Wix does have an e-commerce side. You can add that into your website as well. However, I prefer Shopify for e-commerce. Now, Shopify is not as drag and drop friendly, but it is still user friendly for beginners. It is still something that you can set up for yourself at the very basic. Big sites, even like Fashion Nova, are actually Shopify stores. So keep that in mind when you guys are building out your websites. And of course, a pro tip would be that if you have the money, pay somebody to do it. It's going to save time. It's going to make sure that it's completely professional right out the door. A lot of people offer website services fairly cheap these days. I actually do website design myself for a great price. You guys can let me know in the comments if you need that as well. And then your last step is going to be to market your business and drive sales. This is where it all comes down to. You've done all of the legwork. You've set up everything. You've envisioned the business that you want to have. You made the plan. You have the model. You've registered everything that's necessary. You got your domain straight. You figured out all of the financial situation. You separated your business from your home finances. Reviewed all of the sales information and licensing necessary for your state. You have an awesome website. Now you need to market and drive sales to it. Again, I will be going in depth with a complete how to make a marketing plan in another video. It's just too in depth to get into this video. However, I wanted you guys to have the basics. So once all that is set up, the only thing left for you to do is market the heck out of your business. So you're going to want to develop a marketing plan. I will have that in my next videos coming up of a detailed outline of how to develop a marketing plan. Once you have the plan in place, you'll want to utilize it. You'll want to make sure that you are doing all of the steps and all of the things that you've come up with in your plan, and you want to make sure that you are doing them consistently. Marketing is about being consistent, even if that means automation. Even if that means you're automating things, you want to make sure your marketing is consistent, hitting hard, and always driving a sale. If marketing is something that's completely out of your realm and you're not sure how to get started with that, and if you have the funds, definitely invest in outside marketing. Having an outside marketer would be incredible for you guys if you can afford it. You can also look at coaches if you're getting into business coaching. I know I have worksheets and all kind of different things for you guys about marketing. If you were to team up with me and work with me, I could help you out with that as well. So those are pretty much the basic steps. I've given you guys the bare minimum rundown of the basic steps in order for you to start a business in 2021. Again, I will be going in more depth about business. I will be going into more depth on how to write a business plan as well as how to write a marketing plan. But right now you guys have the bare outline and you guys have work to do. I hope these tips have helped you guys. I'm really enjoying this little girl boss vlogmas that I'm doing. And I want to keep giving you guys great content that will help you guys move forward with creating your businesses. So if you guys are enjoying these videos, make sure that you comment, like, subscribe, give me the thumbs up, share it on all your social media sites. If you know a girl boss in your life looking to expand, if you know a mom looking to start a business, definitely send them my way. Check out the YouTube, lots of free content for you guys. And I will see you in the next video.